I had to watch this week's episode of SAO 2 twice, and not because it was so good that I want to watch it again or because I missed anything, but because the first link that I watched actually had the first 6.5 minutes cut right out, and I didn't even notice until around 15 minutes the ending credits started up. I'm just like, whoa, what the hell? The episode wasn't that long. What's going on? So I found a new link, and I finally realized why the first 6.5 minutes were cut out by the original uploader. It was because they were pointless. I mean, you can basically start the episode off right when Asuna is fighting that giant golem, and it was awesome, and you can get pretty much the majority of the episode right there. Done. You don't need to see the first 6.5 minutes. They were wasted with just moments of more Kirito and Asuna being all lovey-dovey and all that stuff. The only really good part about the first 6.5 minutes was Agil, or Agil, whatever his name is, however you pronounce it, and his character progression is like, I was married, we originally used to play games together, but we only could afford one of these Amu spheres or the headsets. So, I guess we played rock, paper, scissors to find out who would get to use it first. And of course, he got to use it first, and that's how he got stuck in SAO. And that's the reason he wanted to get out. He was working so hard in any way he could, being a blacksmith or being a warrior, so he can get out, and see his wife again. He didn't want to leave her alone to run this little cafe all by herself. So it just gave more development in just his character and a majority of the characters that we never got introduced to in SAO. There were plenty of people fighting out there for the lives they had already built outside with their families, and they wouldn't be going to be able to see them again unless they survived SAO. And even Kirito wanted to get out, because I guess he had his cousin, but other than that, that was his only reason. But then Asuna comes in saying, like, well, actually, I didn't like my family. So in a way, she actually wanted to be stuck in SAO for the rest of her life. And I guess that's some sort of progression. But either way, again, for the first 6.5 minutes, it was just the lovey-dovey stuff between Kirito and Asuna. And even Agio-san was just kind of like, please stop, don't do that. It's like, yes, he's a married person, and even he thinks you guys are nauseous, or nauseating, so stop it. I mean, come on. No couple is just that all over each other. It's just disgusting. But either way, I'm kind of glad I saw it with Asuna kicking that golem's ass the first time, because it just made me more interested in the episode. So it's like, oh my god, I mean, she's out there kicking ass with this giant golems, and of course, Shinon there and Kirito's there to help her, but at the end, she's the one that defeats it, piercing right through his chest. I was like, this episode's gonna be awesome, like, Asuna's gonna be badass again, this just to get playing the game, killing monsters, finally. But then immediately after that, it's like, look, floor 22 of Aincrad. There's our cabin next to the lake. And as soon as I saw that cabin, I just screamed, no! Don't tell me we're repeating this again. It's like, it's still here. Let's buy it. We bought it. We get to live in it again with Yui. And I just kept screaming and screaming, saying, no, no, no. We've been through this again and again. And it makes me realize how repetitive the last 3 episodes were. It's like, it was dragged on to 3 episodes, but it was one quest for Kirito to earn a sword. Just for Kirito to get a sword, one that he hasn't even used yet. I haven't seen him use it at all. Not against the golem, not against this new enemy, Zekken. And I kept thinking, what happened in the first season of SAO? He needed to get a sword. He went out to this snowy country, or snow land, and had to defeat a giant dragon. He killed the dragon, allowing him to obtain a badass sword. In the last 3 episodes, he had to go to a snowy land to defeat a giant boss enemy and obtain a golden sword. And now he has to get the cabin again with Asuna like he did in the first season. And I'm just like, why are we repeating this? Why? And it even makes me more mad when we find out that we completely skip over the fact that Asuna had to move back to Kyoto because her family, being, I don't know, aristocrats or whatever they are, or CEO members, company, I have no fucking idea, because they don't care. And it's just like, okay, so they moved maybe because her father's job took her there? Like, no, because now she's being put in arranged marriages. It's like, what? Why are they doing this again? Didn't the first arranged marriage not work out against the guy who tried to rape her within the game? So why are we doing that again? It even shows these three guys, I'm guessing rich kids, and they have this rape face on them. It's like they're all looking at Asuna. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna love tapping that. It's like, why are we doing this again? I mean, isn't it already common knowledge among her family that she likes Kirito, that they're dating, they're going out in public and hanging out and playing games together? It's like, why is this not, have more attention on it? It just seems like it would have been great character progression for Asuna, but no, we just completely skip over that. It's like, okay, thanks. And then even this new enemy, Zekken, he sounds badass. I mean, he looks cool. It's like he started the game and immediately sent an email to everyone saying, hey, I want to duel someone. I'm just going to be standing here all day, starting from 3 o'clock, and anyone who wants to come up and duel me, I'll accept. And of course, everyone's just like, oh, who's this fucking noob? Let's take him down. They go there and he's just like taking down people one by one. And eventually all 30 people that came there the first day were just taken down, and he barely had a scratch on him. Just like, damn. Next, boom, next, boom, next, boom. It's like, Jesus Christ, guy, who are you? I want to know more about your story. Hopefully we do get more background on this guy, because he is pretty badass. And apparently the blacksmith girl and Lifa also were taken down by him. And at first I was kind of like, why didn't we get to see that? It was like, I guess they're side characters, it doesn't really matter. But then all of a sudden, they mentioned that Kirito fought him and he lost. And I'm just immediately thinking, why did we skip that? I mean, throughout this entire season so far, we've been pretty much focusing on Kirito. Nothing but Kirito. And originally, I believed the first part of the season was all Shinon, but eventually Kirito stole that too. This season was telling me, focus on Kirito. Kirito is still the main character. He's the main focus of all of your attention. And eventually, I gave in. I was like, alright, it's all about Kirito again. And here we are saying, oh, he's not important anymore. We're just going to skip over his battles. Like, he's gonna be a side character. What? Why is this happening? What the fuck? And apparently now Asuna is gonna be the main character of this. I'm supposing it's another mini arc, because it changed to Mother Rosaria, from Caliber to Mother Rosaria. So is this how it's gonna be now? Just like a couple of episodes here and there, different arcs? Why is that happening? Why dedicate an entire first part of a season to one character and her arc and her story, just to have like these mini stories now? It's kind of just breaking apart. It's like, okay, it's kind of weird. It's kind of a big jump from your usual system, but fine, okay. And I kind of laughed when they said, oh, don't worry, Kirito lost because he wasn't really trying. And I just laughed because it made me realize how many people use that excuse. It's like, I beat you at this video game. And then, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later, you talk to your friends saying, oh yeah, I let that guy win. I wasn't really trying. It's like, yeah, how many excuses have you used that the same way like that? Like, come on. That's the oldest excuse in the book. I wasn't really trying. And even if you weren't, I still would have loved to see a fight between Kirito and Zekken that ended up with Zekken winning. That sounds like it would have been a lot more interesting. But, instead we just get more build up, and just the beginning of the arc, it's like, okay, Asuna, she wants to fight this guy. She's interested. At least finding out what Kirito said to him, I have no idea. But either way, I mean, yeah, there was so many parts of this episode that were pointless, but in another sense,, they bring in the arc. It's like, okay, so, really have no idea what to say about this episode. It left me at a loss for words. There were times where I thought, like, oh, okay, this is gonna be not so bad. It's gonna be this new enemy, or at least new rival for Asuna, and Asuna's gonna be badass again. But then other points, it was just like, wait, why are they biting the cabinet at the lake again? Why are they just wasting time with Asuna and Kirito kissy? And I think, I have no idea. I mean, why are they skipping scenes with Kirito fighting someone when they really never alluded to anything other than Kirito's the focus of the season? Again, I have no idea, but it just happens, and I have to swallow it, I suppose. But either way, that's the end of this episode, and hopefully the next one will put more focus on Asuna meeting this Zekken guy, and they have a fight, and it's gonna be awesome. I want to know more about who the Zekken is. He looks badass. He sounds badass. He is badass. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see where this, I'm guessing another mini arc, takes us. So hopefully, till then, Tony Dragon, bye-bye.